Hello, do you love crafting for relaxation like I do? If so, you've arrived at the right video, because in this video we're going to be DIY crafting some beautiful home decor projects. Now these projects are going to be budget friendly, easy to do, and I'll let you be the judge, but in my opinion turned out stunning. So let's go ahead and get to crafting. Now for this DIY, we're going to be using one of these wire wreath bunny frames that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. We're also going to be using a wood round, and I don't remember where I got this wood round. I think it was Dollar Tree, but it almost looks too good a quality, so I'm not really sure. And then I'm going to be using some raffia. Now you could use whatever you want. You could use raffia, which actually this is one of those hula skirts from Dollar Tree during their little summer line, or you could also use some of this yarn, which actually I think I'm going to stick with this because I want mine to stay more of a rustic theme. And we're going to start by, we're going to set this aside for now, and we're going to start by staining our wood round. So to do that, I'm going to be using some of this Waverly wax stain, and we're just going to cover it both front and back. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, we have our brush now, and I'm also going to be wearing some gloves for this because it gets really messy and I've ruined so many things. So we're going to put on some gloves. Pull our sleeves up here, and we have a rag to wipe our stain off once we get it on with our paintbrush. And then we're just going to stain the surface. Now I think I'm going to remove this for now too, so let's do that. And then we're just going to stain our surface. Now that we have it stained, it's dried on both sides, we're going to set it aside and work on our rabbit frame, or our bunny frame. We're going to start by cutting the tag off. And we're going to bring back in our hula skirt, or raffia, whatever you have on hand. And what I'm going to start doing is wrapping. I'm going to take 3 pieces and I'm just going to pull it off of my hula skirt like that so it stays whole like this. And then we're just going to start wrapping our wreath form. So let's get started doing that now. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of weave it in and out. And then I'm going to glue it to the back of itself to start with just a touch of hot glue. All right, maybe not. There we go. There we go. All right, got that. I'll just fold it over on itself. All right, and then we'll just start wrapping. And we're going to do this all the way around the round part of our wreath base. And you could also spray paint your wreath base a color if you wanted to. You could spray paint it whatever color you're going to use to wrap. But I think I'm going to just stick with the green for mine. And we'll just wrap it extra good with the raffia. And then we're going to glue it. Once we have that done, we're going to glue it don't know why my glue gun's not working, but it's not. I'll trim away this for now. Then we'll take 3 more pieces. And like I said, we'll just keep wrapping. All right, now that we have that wrapped, we want to wrap the ears. But we're going to do that in a little bit different way. Now you could wrap round, 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 but we're going to try a different way. And we're going to take our same 3 pieces. And we're going to start at the base here. We're going to start by gluing it down, this 3 pieces of hula skirt, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take and weave them in and out of the ear frame like this. See? So that's what we're going to do, and we're just going to keep doing that all the way up. And you might need to add a little bit of glue just to hold them in place as you're weaving them. And you want to kind of keep the weave flat like this. And then just keep doing them back and forth until you get it woven all the way up the ear, all the way up to the end. And then we're going to do the other one the same exact way. Now that we have our woven bunny made, look at how cute that is. I love that. It's so cute. We're going to set it aside. We're going to bring in this cute little welcome word cutout. So we have our welcome word cutout, and I'm going to paint mine white using a makeup sponge. Okay, now we have our welcome word painted. We're going to bring back in our wood plaque and our woven bunny piece. And we are now going to glue our bunny, woven bunny, down to our wood plaque. And we're going to leave the ears free. We're not going to glue those. We're just going to glue the frame down. Make sure it's centered. And then we're just going to press it into our wood plaque. Okay, so once we have that glued down, it's on there sturdy, we're going to take our welcome word and we're going to glue it to the center of our bunny head frame. You got to make sure it's centered. And you can do any kind of glue you prefer. I'm going to do hot glue, and actually my hot glue is the Elmer's hot glue for wood, so hopefully it will stick. You can also use wood glue, which actually I'm contemplating that. We'll see how this goes. And then we'll do the wood glue if it doesn't stick. So now we have to make sure it's centered and even. that looks pretty good there. We'll just press it into our wood. Okay, that feels pretty sturdy. Yep, that's good and sturdy. That Gorilla hot glue for wood is perfection. All right, so now we have our welcome word cut out on. And you could leave it just like this and then put the hanger back on if you like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bow to the bottom of mine. And I'm going to be using some of this beautiful buffalo check, gingham checked spring ribbon they have out at Michael's. And we're just going to make a little bow for right here. And then once we have our bow made, and I just made it with a zip tie, so once we have that made, we're just going to glue it to the bottom of our bunny head. And then we're just going to dovetail our ends. Like that. Perfect. Then we have what looks like this. And now we're just going to add back our hanger. And then we're left with this cute little door hanger. It could be a door hanger, it could be just a wall hanger. It could be added to a wreath. You could do whatever you want with it, but I think it turned out so adorable. What do you guys think? Now for this DIY, we're going to be using one of these Dollar Tree chalkboard frames along with a picture of your choice, but I'm going to be using this printout I made of this cute little vintage bunny. You'll need some spray paint in the color you prefer, and you'll need some rub and buff. So let's go ahead and get this project started. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to take our frame apart, and we're going to spray paint the frame in this brown espresso satin spray paint. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now that we have it sprayed, we're going to take some of this antique gold rub and buff, and we're just going to hit the highlights of our frame. All right, and then we have this beautiful rub and buff gold frame. I think it looks so pretty. All right, so we'll put that aside for now. Take off our gloves. And then we're going to take our bunny and we're just going to draw around our rabbit. We'll take our pencil and I'm just going to roughly draw around it on the inside. And then I'll cut around it. So we got that. Now we're just going to cut around it. All right, and then once we have our little bunny cut out, we're going to take our backing, and it goes in like this, but I'm going to stick it on there like this. And then we have it on like this. Now we're going to put our frame back together. Make sure that it's in the center there. Let's make sure. It is so cute. Okay. And then we're going to put this back in. And then we have what looks like this cute little bunny frame. I think it looks so cute. But we're not done there. We are going to take and add a little bit of detail to this bunny to make it three-dimensional. And for that, we're going to be using some florals. And I'm not sure which ones. I don't know if I want to use those or these or maybe a few of these. We'll see. We will see. Then we're going to take some of these little pip berries. We're going to trim them off and we're going to glue them to his little bouquet here and make it three-dimensional. All right, and then once we have our little pip berries glued on, we are going to take and glue some flowers on there. And I'm thinking I might use some of these yellow flowers or some of these little flowers as well. So let's go ahead and just combine them and we'll see what we come up with. So we'll just pull off the little flower, put a little bit of glue on there, and we'll just stick it right in. It looks so cute. Look at that. Perfect. All right, we'll continue on. We'll put 3 of these in there. Okay, then I think we'll put some of these purple ones in too. What do you guys think? A couple purple ones? And then we have this cute little 3D effect of our flowers. Isn't that cute? It looks like he's carrying a little bouquet. I love that. What do you guys think? How cute is he? I think he's so cute, and I think I'm done actually, but you can do whatever you want to yours, but I think I'm done with mine, and I think it turned out so adorable. Don't you guys love him? I do. For this DIY, we're going to be using a piece of 2x4 that's been cut down to 6 inches. We'll also be using these Happy Easter word cutouts that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. A printout, mine's going to be in this beautiful blue and white pattern. So first we're going to take our blue and white pattern and we are going to glue it down to our wood. And we just want to make sure and get it sort of centered, and then we're just going to glue it down. And I think how I'm going to do mine is I'm going to do mine with a, I think a little bit of Mod Podge maybe, or maybe I'll do some glue stick. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some glue stick, and we'll do some Elmer's purple glue stick. We're going to start by putting it on the back of our paper. And then we'll put some on our wood. So we want it good and stuck down. Oops, wrinkling it all up. That's okay. That's okay. All right, and then we're just going to put it down, making sure that we're even. And then we're going to smooth it down onto our wood. And mine's a little crooked, but my design, it doesn't really matter. But if you have a design where it matters, just make sure it's straight. Oh. And then we're going to let that glue dry underneath the paper. All right, and while our glue's drying, we're going to set it aside over there. We're going to take our Happy Easter word cutouts. We're going to take one of them out. They're so cute, huh? I think they are so cute. Look at them. And I guess you get 4. So I'm going to put this one back in there. And we're going to take and paint our Happy Easter. We're going to use our sponge here. And we're going to paint it in this beautiful blue. They call it Midnight Sapphire. All right, now that our glue has dried, we've got our Happy Easter sign painted. We're going to set that aside to dry. Now we're going to take some sandpaper and we're just going to knock off the edges of our paper. All right, now we have it sanded. It looks nice and clean. We're going to take some stain. I'm going to be using some of this Waverly wax stain, and we're going to stain our wood, and then we're going to bring it into the edges of our print as well. So let's go ahead and get to doing that. And once we have this stained, we're going to take our little bit of stain that we have on our rag, and we're just going to drag it across the edges of our paper. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I printed this off of, I just searched for free print clip art, and I just found this little printable, and I printed it up on just some standard printing paper. And then we have this beautifully aged piece. I love it so much. So we're going to now let this dry completely and we'll continue on with our project. Okay, so now we have this done and it's dried. And look at how beautiful that looks. I think it looks so beautiful. And then we have our Happy Easter. So now we're just going to take and glue it down to our piece. And I'm just going to do mine with a little bit of hot glue. Yep, and it's on there perfectly. And then we're left with this cute little Happy Easter sign. Don't you love that blue and white? I am so in love with that. It's so pretty. What do you guys think? Don't you love it? I do. And I think it's the perfect little shelf sitter or any addition to existing Easter decor.